So it goes a little bit like this. If you want to be able to operate in this type of environment, you have to kick a little bit of inside here. It's the only way this business is going to get done. And, if you don't do it, then business doesn't do. You just can't operate on our turf and think that you can get away with this. You know what I mean? So, you're saying that I have to pay you in order to conduct my day-to-day operations. So to speak, we're paying you protection so that way you don't get bumped by some other people. So basically, you're doing yourself a favor by cooperating, because if not, you're not going to be doing any business, because that's just going to how it's going to be. We're not going to let you operate. So every little chunk of the check, slice of the pie that you get, you're going to be kicking over some ends to us for allowing you to operate. That's basically what's going to happen. So if you're not going to get that, trust me, you may, we're going to figure some way out to, let's say, make what you're doing not promisable for you. You know what I mean? What the hell?
It doesn't.
You are now being tuned in to the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Yes, you're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show, with your host, Brent, kicking it here on this Sunday Night Vibes. Yep, again, doing a little things, but we're back kicking it here on the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to like and subscribe to us on our other social media platforms. You can follow me on my YouTube channel, Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me on Twitter at CoollyCool2412. You can also follow me on my TikTok. Well, that's if we have a TikTok, because apparently it's going to be getting banned. Follow me at the Coolly Cool Show, the TikTok. You can also follow me on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also being brought to you by Spreaker.com. We're going to be starting in just a couple of seconds, getting everything else situated here. Just wondering, how's everybody's Sunday going? Was it a very eventful one? Very promising one? Every day is a blessing. you're listening here. It's a Cooley Cool's Hip Hop Beat. You are now tuned into the coolest of the cool, the Cooley Cool Show. Now, without further ado, the man that exuberates nothing but absolute coolness, your host, Brent. Thank you. Yep, we're kicking here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show. Sunday Night Vibes is the topic of the discussion, or more or less the topic, the title. So, I haven't been on that much, but had to kick off a few things with promising topics that pretty much the social media world is all kind of like, well, why are we talking about this? What's going on? That's why at the beginning of this podcast, I did a kind of the Italian or the kind of mafia type of thing. Just like, what are you doing? You shouldn't talk about this. We're going to offer you some protection, you know what I mean? We're going to allow you to operate, but you're going to have to kick some ends so that we can get our slice of the pie. And if you don't know, now you know. Apparently, Congress met with the CEO of TikTok. I don't know the guy's name. But anyway, they met with him. They had a big meeting about it. And apparently, the U.S. Senate, Congress elected to vote to have TikTok banned in the United States. And by a landslide and a majority rule that they want TikTok banned. But there's a lot of other things going on with that. Obviously, there's going to be appeals from the TikTok corporation side. It's just a whole heap of hoopla, bunch of craziness that's going on right now because, hey, everybody's attention to what's going on with the whole TikTok, social media, freedom of expression, freedom of rights. And a lot of people sometimes are up in arms. We've had this discussion beforehand on this podcast, but obviously now, they're like, oh, it's getting bad. Oh my goodness. And people are saying, how can they try to ban a social media site? And they, the sin is like, oh, well, China owns it. China, they got it. And I've had on my previous podcast, it's because the U.S. doesn't have control of how this app's being run. Meaning, basically, the money that this app, that TikTok, the app, which has over 1 million, some hundreds of millions of people, whatever, and the vast majority of its users are from the United States. Thus, the amount of money that TikTok gets off its individual users, and since they have courted TikTok Shop and all this other stuff, that the majority of the mass money is formulated and given to the TikTok corporation, whatever, and somewhere housed that money is distributed back to China, which means China gets a larger slice of the pie than the United States gets their portion of the pie. And in the United States, that is a big no. The United States is like, oh, hell no. You're not going to be getting more of the pie, and we have the majority of the users that are operating on your app that we kind of allow to be on there, and you kicking out more into over there to another country that frankly we kind of work a little bit in conjunction with, but we're not really friends. Oh, that's a big no. So if you listen to my podcast, previous podcast, I talked about it. I said, this is all based around money. It's the whole thing. The U.S. Senate is a bunch of old fat wigs that sit up in office and that are freaking, up there in age. And they don't really give a shit about you and I, the individual citizens at all. It's a whole money thing. More money into their pockets, more money formulated for what they want to do, more money that they feel should be orchestrated to their own doing, to where they should allocate the money aspect to go about. I mean, for goodness sakes, if you had not noticed the amount of craziness in surge of prices across the whole United States has lost its mind. Like right now, if you go to McDonald's and you want to get yourself a Big Mac, a number one, the meal, medium, large fry, medium drink, Big Mac, it's going to run you about $10. Yeah, $10 just for one Big Mac meal. That's fucking absurd. But, it is what it is. People are paying it because people are hungry. And it's been going crazy. If you follow the housing market, that's in itself is another insanity along the whole spectrum of things. Mortgage rates are out of fucking space. And it's not looking to come down anytime, lower anytime soon. And they're just going to continue to keep dabbling in the dabbles of how much can we get over, how much we can, just continuously get over with these fucking people. It's just, what the hell, man. But in a sense, we have to understand that maybe this is all formulated to a bigger plan, bigger grand scheme, a bigger thought than we've imagined, totally thought of. Doesn't look that way, but, who knows? Just as we all continue to say, as you listen to my podcast before, it's like, pay attention to that. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He's not pulling any strings. He's not trying to deceive you. But he is. But what? Just don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. So, in retrospect to the fact that, Congress passed the bill, and I mean, it's just so much, it's just so stupid. People, and some people that are up in arms about this, they're like, oh my God, TikTok. I'm going to be able to make funny videos. Okay, and like, reality, whatever. If TikTok is like, look, you can't use the app anymore, you're done. Okay, there's going to be another app that's going to come across that people are going to come about to utilize to show themselves as the expression of voicing their opinions and doing things that they want to. Obviously, Spreaker.com and other podcasts, you can voice your opinion, you can talk. The freedom and the flow of information is so much quicker than it has ever been. That something that happens somewhere way across the country, instantaneously, once it's put on the spectrum of the access of the internet to social media, the thing is spread out and done across many channels within a matter of seconds, minutes, as opposed to, over 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years, 50, 60 years, where the information was slowed because of technology. So we've gotten to the point where technology is high speed, and many people would say that the reason why the government wants to utilize this is because people are becoming self-aware of certain trickery and bullshitness that's going on rampant around this world, and it doesn't sit well when people start to come together and be able to figure certain shit out together. I saw one individual's TikTok, and he was talking, he says, when the people start figuring out that they're all being sieved at the same way and at the same rate, they start to figure that they're all and everybody, and then there's only a certain group that's not being affected by this. And that's what I've said before on my podcast. The elites of the elites. the people in charge telling you and I what is good and bad, and that what we should abide to, and how we should abide by it, and how we should conform to it, and what should be censored, and what the morals and values of certain things and commodities. Like, these are the individuals that are running the country. And in retrospect, they don't give a damn about you and I and anyone else that you know, about your rights, your freedoms, what you want happening, what you would like to happen. They don't give a flying fuck. They don't. And the main reason why? Because it's all a type of system control. Plain and fucking simple. Like, if they truly did, then why is it that those big old fat wigs up in Congress, up in the White House, why is it that the fact that the Congress and the Senate people, once they're in office, it's nothing but older people that are telling the country, making decisions on people that says, wait a minute, why are they making decisions on behalf of something that I didn't vote for, that I didn't ask for? But they're making decisions for you and I on where the direction of how this country should be formulated. But isn't the Constitution for the people, by the people, of the people? No, it's not. It's to instill a working government, a working way to keep things rolling. You and I, my friend, the people, are just a little entity that they give to us to let us know that, yeah, you got certain rights, you got certain things you can have, but in reality, you people can't dictate shit because you will fuck shit up. Which I sometimes happen to agree, because I said before that the individual person is smart, but people are fucked up in general, because people are panicky, they create chaos. They don't know what direction to go when some shit fucking goes downhill. Like, I'm telling you right now, if there was some type of catastrophic thing, like, craziness happened, like you would see in the movies, the panic would set in, the chaos, the mayhem. You would see that because people aren't willing to fucking understand what's going on. Now, like I said, the individual person will be able to figure out certain things to try to deviate, to try to mitigate certain. But when a group of people come together, too many minds are going different ways, people will get agitated, irritated, and then shit will just go fucking haywire. And this is why people believe that the government, they don't give the people, the citizens, any power. It's a fucking metaphor. It's a thought process. It's a built up imaginary thing that they say that they think people want to hear. When in reality, it's never. You give the illusion, the thought that you, the people, this is like you vote for the next president. People say, yeah, get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. And you have tons of people getting out there, voting for who they want to become the next president, or whoever there is in their county, and blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. But in reality, are they going to do anything? Are they willing to do anything? I put it this way. You grow up and you're in school, and you get a little taste of this during your junior high, middle school, and high school times. That when people, I'm going to run for class president. I'm going to run for class treasurer. And they're like, vote for me. And everybody's like, oh, you have a vote. Okay, cool. And you vote to see who you want. Now, many people don't understand that that's all rigged anyway. Like, no, it's not. You can't make a vote. No, what happens is people vote for who they like, not for what they can do and how they can do it. It's for basically vote for, I like my boy Jimmy. Yes, I'm gonna vote for him. That dude over there, Craig, man, fuck him. I don't like him any goddamn way. The girl aspect, Jenny, let's like them, or, I like Becky. It's all fucking orchestrated to who you like, who you want to be in there. And when you hear these sales pitches at the kid level, the junior high, the high school, and he says, "You vote for me, we're gonna have more dances, we're gonna have more pizza parties, we're gonna have more sodas and drinks and blah 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 X Y Z," and you're like, "Oh yeah, cool, yeah, I'm gonna vote for him," but these promises are never ever going to come to fruition. They lying to your face at a young age and telling you this, because the people that are running for student president, they just have meetings. Which is thus what happens in Congress. They have fucking meetings. They talk about shit that they know they're not going to fucking do because they don't want to do it. They just do it because it's a topic of discussion to talk about. And they do the shit when you're at the little kid level. You think you're really a kid, teenager's going to be able to, hey, we want this more. And at the teacher staff and the staff of the school is going to be like, yeah, we're going to happen. Unless it's something very dire that's in danger. But trust me, the teaching staff and the people running the school would already have caught on to this and found this out well in advance before the student body would. So what I'm getting at is that the fact that everything that you think is a freedom that you have and that you can kind of influence and change, it's not. It's all a deception. It's all a way for you to figure out, if you have an open mind, that every turn, every neck and cranny is bullshit. But don't believe me. Just look at all the points and evidence that shows to you on what the fuck is going on. All right? Like, there's a reason why there's old people that are always up at Congress. When the president made the State of the Union address, I think, State of the Union address, he's talking, he's up there. And did you see any young people in the Senate office or anything in that office? Did you see anybody? Did you see any young people? No, you didn't. You saw nothing but older people that probably have been up there for 30 plus years. All right. They're probably already making well over $200,000 a year. There's a reason why behind it. All right. Plain and simple. And think about this. When people at that level, at the politics, the political level, the level of politics, when you're talking like, your county levels, your state levels, and to the government, to being in the Senate, people, it's orchestrated this way because those set of people, when you say, you know what, I'm an average Joe citizen, I want to run for office. I want to be an elected member of our county council and things like that. So I'm going to run. Okay, cool. You want to run? Go right ahead. Who do you know? Fucking nobody. How do you have the fucking campaign money to be able to run against all of these motherfuckers that have more money, that can afford a campaign, that can dish it out? Fuck no. So you're at a disadvantage from the get-go. But sometimes this is how it works out for a majority of those political people that have a screw loose in them. And that, frankly, everybody in the Senate and the Congress, they do. So what happens is that they're like, I want to run for this and I want to get this. I'm going to promise such and such that I'm going to help them whatever happens when I get in office. And then that debt is going to be fulfilled when I'm in office. But I need you to back me in order to get up there in office. So it's scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. That's what they do. That's how the money flows. That's how the campaign money flows. Scratch your back, I scratch yours. I got you once you get me in. You get me in, you'll have all the promise. And then what ends up happening when people don't fulfill their obligations to those that got them in? Whole bunch of fucking scandals, a whole bunch of, oh shit, this fucking something came out and X, Y, and Z, and now it's all this illegal shit, but that's what ends up happening. They like spilling the beans and say, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, oh, this is this and that. Like, for instance, I'm going to go on this with the former WWE CEO and owner, Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon, and his sex scandal and human trafficking scandal. I tell you right now, that, you know what, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to discuss about this more. I'm going to get something to drink. We're going to come back with some more of the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show. So stick with me, stay with me. We got more to talk here on the Coolest of the Coolly Cool Show. We'll be right after this quick little brief break. Yes, you're back here listening live on the Coolest of the Coolly Cool Show with your host, Brent. Yep, you're listening here to Coolly Cool. It's modern trap music. All right, so we left off with talking about, the politics, how things are being formulated, things of that nature. And I left off talking about how you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and that's how politics work, because it helps people get in office in certain positions, and certain people have more formidability able to make that happen. So I just left off talking about Vince McMahon, the former WWE CEO / president. He stepped down because of some sexual scandal allegations and, human trafficking type sexual things and things of that nature. And, if you read the whole thing on the thing or heard about it, what the allegations are, and they're like, oh, we can't believe it, this has happened, this and that. It goes back to saying it's something along the lines, something like this, along the lines of, you didn't pay me, now I'm gonna fucking rat you out. That's pretty much what happened. You didn't pay me when I asked for an increase in pay, and now I'm pissed the fuck off, and, oh, you don't think I can do something? Well, guess what? I'm gonna fuck you over now. That's pretty much what a lot of shit happens, and that happens in the political world, and obviously that happens, that's what formulated the whole process. And you see that a lot of times when anytime there's a scandal with the government and the Congress or the Senate and politicians, it boils down to that. It's somebody that didn't come, fulfill their end of the bargain when they were supposed to help out somebody. And now, mysteriously, allegations and things of that nature become the surface and come to light. It doesn't happen just out of the blue, out of the ordinary. No, it's because, oh, you want to do that to me? I got you. I got you, boy. Yeah, shit like that tends to happen quite often and frequently with politicians, people in power, happens quite evident. And for those that get in office, happens. It's very rare that individuals of that magnitude get up there without having to say, "Oh, I got you, buddy. No problem, buddy. Just need you to go help me." No, there's always somebody that needs a little. I got you. I'll help you, but I'm gonna need you to fulfill an obligation to me once you get up in there in that position. It's called politics. I don't even know how politics. Everybody, if anybody knows anything about politics is they're nothing but fat wig liars. That's what the whole thing. They act like they care. They act like they're concerned, but they not. They really don't. And I'm being truthful and honest. But they act as though, oh no, you don't understand how it works. We're here to promote and help forward our country and our communities go a righteous path, so that way they can understand the whole thing about everything that we need to teach them to make sure that they're getting the proper things. Really? Okay, we're gonna give you the textbook answer. The fuck you talking about? Like, it just boggles the mind about this. But then, like I said, we're talking about this from the government politician side. And then they brought up, they're going to ban TikTok. And I told you the whole reason about TikTok is because basically the money. TikTok makes a lot of money. The majority of the money is going towards China and whatever. And the United States is like, look, we ain't friends with them. And we got more users that operate here in the United States. We should be getting a larger fucking check, a larger piece of that pie, because our users are from here, from America, supporting your fucking app. And the way that fucking social engineering is, give us our fucking money more than the fucking China, or else we're gonna fucking cut you off. And when we cut you off, that means it's gonna be majority of all of our users here in America are not going to be able to operate on it, which means you, China, TikTok, and whatever are going to lose money out of it, and you're going to essentially be broke, because guess what? The United States is setting up, and we're funding you because our users are on the app more than your own people. It's money. Nothing but formulated around money. It always is. Plain simple. But sometimes people don't understand it. People want to believe that everything is, they just don't like TikTok because it's dead. Look, when they went and voted, they voted and didn't even have a discussion about, well, let's check this out. They were like, here, when the button passed. They just continued. They just went out like it wasn't nothing. Why? Because they were like, oh, hell no. We had these motherfuckers stealing from us. And if you know anything about America, we paranoid as shit any goddamn way. Like, first thing is, you want to operate, you going to kick some ends. And here's a way to figure out, oh, you mean kick some ends? Okay, you work at a job, any job. You work for your money, you work hard. And when you get your paycheck, you have taxes taken out of your paycheck before you even get to spend your hard-earned money. So then what do? You go to the store to go purchase items, living expenses, things that you need to live, things you need to get. And guess what? You get this and you go to pay for it. Then you get paid, then you get fucking scammed having to pay sales tax on some shit that you need to survive, necessities. So you already got Uncle Sam taking money out of your paycheck. But then when you got your money, and then when you go ahead to try to, pay for living expenses, Uncle Sam hits you again with some sales tax, talking about you gonna have to pay that shit back to us. And you're like, God damn. Like, can I get something without you motherfuckers? No, you really fucking can't. And the funny part about it all, and the funniest part, is that come times tax season, when it's time to do your taxes, this is where Uncle Sam is like, do your taxes. But if the government, if you don't owe any money, you do your taxes, Uncle Sam's got to kick you some ends, because he's like, shit, I owe you some fucking money. He's not happy about it, but he'll give you some money to keep you hush and for you to shut the fuck up. But if you don't do your taxes and you're due to get money back from the government, they're not going to be like, hey, you need to do your taxes. We got some money we need to give to you. No, they don't. No, they're not doing that. They're just like, well, the motherfucker didn't do his taxes. I'm going to tell you. But if you owe taxes to the federal government, Uncle Sam's going to be like, oh, this motherfucker tried to deceive us. Put that motherfucker to jail. They're going to go after you. Especially if you owe taxes. You owe money. There's people that always have to pay every year. Then they hate having to do their taxes because they're like, man, I gotta fucking pay every fucking year. You're like, in the same principle. Motherfucker, you take taxes out of my fucking paycheck, and then I get taxes shit I gotta fucking buy. And then at the end of that, since because I make so much money, I gotta fucking pay you motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck? Like, literally, the shit is just fucking running craziness rampant. But who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody is looking for something. Yeah. So, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk about some other nonsense going on. I'm pretty sure a couple weeks ago, everybody's heard about NASA and their whatever spacecraft. Don't know which one. Don't really care. But talk about it. That apparently, I don't even remember when the fuck they even took off from Earth, to be honest. But they landed. U.S. went back to the moon after 50 some years or whatever. Went back to the moon. Yeah, didn't land anywhere close to the original Apollo landing sites on the moon. No, we just can't have that happen. So we're going to land somewhere the fuck else on the dark side of the moon. And then when it lands, it doesn't land upright. What happens is somehow it got tipped the fuck over. It's laying half on its side. But it's able to send back some data, and the scientists, the nerds, are really happy for it. You know? So it's like, wow. Completely wow, bro. How much more of a loser can you be? You know? So it's on top of that, like, I don't get it anymore. Like, and people are just like, oh man, just going back to the, and they had China, they had Jack 6 or whatever, and then they had the Indian land. India went back to the moon and they landed on the dark side. You would think, and I've already explained this, I think, on my previous, you would think that you would want them to land somewhere near the historical sites of the original moon landing of Apollo, maybe to take some pictures back, since I would assume the pixels and the picture development would be much more enhanced than back in the 60 time frame, the 70s. But no, they didn't do that. They landed somewhere way away. I would like to see those pictures that, oh, look, this is where the Apollo moon landing landed, and look at the shit's rusted like a motherfucker. It's broke down and things of that nature. Here's the flag that was put on the moon and left there. And, you know, no, they didn't do anything. There's no pictures of that. And if, at this point, after weeks gone by, would you even trust the fact that, we found some pictures of here of the original? I would, because they'd probably be like, shit, motherfuckers getting caught on. God damn. And the thing is, probably the reason why they haven't had any pictures, and I'm just going on a limb, is because they probably don't even know exactly how the stuff was actually set up and staged for them to be like historically accurate, like, oh shit, the moon buggy was here, the flag was here, the pack was here, and considering the fact that you would assume, be like, well, why wouldn't you just go back to the spot, take some pictures, verify to the rest of the world that, hey, we landed on this motherfucker? But no, you didn't want to do that. It's a little bit too much work for you. It's a little too hard. That's when we land on the dark side of the moon. Yeah, the dark side of the moon. At this point in time, I don't know what to fucking believe, to be honest, because it's all seeming like a bunch of farce, craziness going on. And then on top of that, haven't heard anything in the alien department, even though last year and year before, alien talks was high, UFOs was hiding in the sky, and they were just flying around, and the mothership was flying around in the solar system. Yeah, whatever. Who fucking cares? People talking about it. Now no one's talking about it. No one gives a shit about fucking aliens, any of this shit. Oh, aliens, they're going to come in and they're going to be eating dinner at your dinner table. By the way, Zorg and Orborg said they want some chicken for tonight. I feel like chicken tonight. Chicken tonight. Yeah, but no one's talking about that. No one's talking about any of that shit. You know why? Because they only talk about it when it's relevant to talk about. When it should be talked about. They're not going to talk about it now. Why? Because it doesn't serve a purpose. Because it's not the hot topic to talk about. And some might say, man, you're sounding really kind of down, Brent, because you seem like you just hate on so much of the space program. No, I'm just not feeding into the bunch of bullshit. Not feeding into dumb stuff. And they keep talking, we're going to Mars. We're going to travel to Mars. We're going to go there. That's a one-way mission to death. It's a suicide mission. But you know, whoever wants to decide to be the first person to go to Mars, you'll be the last person to go to Mars. And it's not going to be like the movies, like Matt Damon growing potatoes. It's not going to happen. It's just, look, it's just some shit. And then again, why is it that they're always out there on the spacecraft, on the International Space Station, trying to fix some shit, doing the space work? You would think they have put astronauts' lives in danger of, dealing with this shit. Because, frankly, you don't want to have something frequently happen and cost an astronaut the life. But, they don't give a shit. No. They make all these fucking made up shit so that people get invested into it. And frankly, it's, once again, as I've always said, if you listen to my show, if you listen to my podcast, you would know that they do it because it's nothing but a money issue. They do it to make more money. They get you, the citizens. You get taxed on your fucking paycheck. You get taxed to buy necessities for life. And then they want extra shit. They want you to continue to pay them for you not to have shit. It's getting crazy. So, we're getting ready to run out of some time. I'm pretty sure the government wants me to shut the fuck up at this point. But, if you like what you hear, tune in for more of the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. So you heard it here live on the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show, here on Sunday Night Vibes. Be sure to check us out on our other social media platforms. You can follow my TikTok channel. Whoa, fuck. I would say TikTok, but who knows how long that's going to be up there. But if you are following, check it out, the Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me on my other social media platforms. Follow me my iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and forget anything. Also, being brought to you by Spreaker.com. You can follow me on Twitter at GoodCool2412. So, yeah. TikTok, you done fucked up. You didn't pay the man. So, basically, you can forget about it. The air to hair, live in the cool's the cool, the Cooley Cool Show. Your host, Brent. Take care. Bye.